け次々と繰り出すゴージャスにバトルオーバーブルーバー最強クリスタルクリア我こそがイビレジェンド
This episode of GOTCHARD continues to prove my opinion that this should have been the show from the very get-go. I truly like this episode, but I did find some stuff that were kind of funny. How much I don't believe if they're intentional or not. And the entire thing of having two amalgams in one episode is kind of odd. I don't know if I like it or not. I truly thought this episode would have kind of continued Rene's crisis of confidence arc to pretty much build up towards something bigger in the end of the episode, but like straight up, like first minute in, Minato just, hey, for fuck's sake, stop fucking looking down at yourself, fucking pick yourself up. And she was like, oh, yeah, you're right. And that's it. Like, it was kind of weird because like I really thought it's actually going to continue with that arc, but it's like, oh no. And for the rest of the episode she was like fine. It's like, oh my god, she's so fine. She's showing fucking Neon that she's a better actress. She's showing Hotoro is like, hey, fucking start using your chemis correctly. Literally. But tell the truth, Hotoro is a dumbass, so I even believe that I can somehow be a slightly better GOTCHARD than Hotoro. How much he's my poor little boy, I love him, but for fuck's sake, you're not doing amazing. But yeah, like character-wise, she didn't really felt like a big part of the episode. She did shine in the beginning of the episode and in the end of the episode, but in the middle, there wasn't a lot, to be completely honest. I kind of did like that the way that she's using the chemis in a way more interesting way than Hotoro and Spanner. Well, more than Spanner. Spanner is kind of boring in that department, while Hotoro is pretty much doing the same thing as Rene, just with Platina. Like I understand he can do more, like physically, because like he has more stuff to use chemis and he can combine both their abilities. How much again Rene did that, so that kind of makes Platina's GOTCHARD's like entire like gimmick to be kind of useless. I understand you could do 5, but for fuck's sake, Rene can do 2, and she doesn't need a power-up. I'm just saying. Which, like, the first time was kind of cool, like the power of the sun actually releasing both Hotoro and Neon from them being frozen, while the second time was actually kind of topical for at least a big chunk of some viewers. I'm not sure where, when Rene created an eclipse that would make both the Magam and Atropos believe that after Hotoro rider kicked her, she died. It's weird because like she didn't de-transform and just fall down, she just kind of like shut down. And it's weird that she took a full brunt of a rider kick, and after that she was fine. I understand Hotoro could have actually pulled back, but still, like, it still is a rider kick. At least fucking sell it. These kids can't fucking sell to save their life. But yeah, like for Rene, that was pretty much it. She did really cool stuff in the beginning, she did really cool stuff in the end, but like nothing really happened to her kind of like in the middle. Like I truly feel that maybe The episode could have maybe be a 3-parter, but it's like, oh, that's very much pushing it. I don't know, but yeah, like, to be completely honest, like, the best part of the episode was the fight scenes, with some scenes kind of like layered in kind of in the surrounding area. While with Neon, it was actually kind of surprising that she didn't become amalgam. Like, that was actually kind of weird. But you know what? That's a surprise that I am willing to accept. And she was, like Rene, jealous at her relationship with Hotoro. And she actually reminded Hotoro of pretty much their first interaction, or at least an interaction that she remembered really well. Specifically when she was down because of a family situation, and he helped her to cheer her up. And his solution was to talk about his dreams. This is how you solve problems? This is how you cheer people up? Talking about you? Is Hotoro a narcissist and we just don't know it? Or just Hotoro? Maybe just young Hotoro just had that riz. Can we get him? Can we just Justin him somehow? Because for fuck's sake, young Hotoro is like, I am a Rizzler. Like, I get it. I like Hotoro. Hotoro is like a nerd. He's a lovable dork. He literally what a Kamen Rider needs to be. But yeah, from time to time, Hotoro, you can just be a little bit vanilla. And it's like, can you be slightly more interesting? Like, I hope that Rainbow GOTCHARD is going to bring something more interesting to Hotoro. Maybe, just maybe, have like the Kemi that creates Rainbow GOTCHARD just be his dad, and his mom just fuck Takemi. I'm sorry, it would be funny, but probably it would be just a Kemi that Hotoro creates. How much? I think the show did say there was 101 Kemis, so maybe like that Kemi kind of already existed and like Hotoro helped to pretty much evolve it. I don't fucking know. I don't really care about that. But yeah, I just liked that the show didn't really drag the entire one-sided beef between Neon and Rene, with Neon actually like cheering on Rene when she fought alongside Hotoro against the Amalgam. She cheered up more of Rene than Hotoro, almost like, hey, Rene's cool, guys. She's actually the secondary. Guys, she's the secondary. She's not the fucking third rider. I understand Dread came in first, but Dread is an antagonist rider. I hate calling him Kamen Rider Dread. He's Shadow Moon. He's just Dread now. He's not a Kamen Rider. I'm revoking his Kamen Rider privileges. Give me that fucking name. Fuck you. While like it was kind of cool that like Neon really as a side character really showed growth in those 2 episodes, and you can really see it's semi-realistic. It was like, oh, she's not like, you know, trying to create this rift between us. And she's actually kind of a better actress than me, so you know what? Get the role. And she got the role, and she got the Juliet role, and that was great. The Kamen Rider GOTCHARD cast did semi-play the entire play of Romeo and Juliet, or at least specific bits from it, which is kind of funny. You can actually see it. They actually put it up. I didn't see it subbed yet. I don't know if anyone subbed it yet. I'm not sure. But yeah, like, hey, I was actually really cool with it. Again, the entire like high school portion was really good. Nothing out of the ordinary. I kind of feel it's slightly of a step down from the first episode. I was like, I think episode 30 was slightly better, mainly because it's like I felt like there was more meat on the bone with episode 30. While, tell you the truth, the most interesting part of it is El Dorado got renamed. For fuck's sake, did just Vince McMahon move to Tokyo like, I'm changing his name, El Dorado? No one would get it. He's now the king, Abyssalis. I think I'm saying this correctly, which was the only thing that we know, because this is the only thing that fucking Lakasis knows. Lakasis, not a good listener, or not a great person at asking the man that created her questions about the weird deities that he fucking like worship. But hey, you can actually say that Lakasis is doing slightly more than Spanner, because she at least has now a Valvarasher. Oh my god, is she just going to transform to Valvarad? And we're just going to have two Valvarads next to each other. Which one is the commoner, which one is not? It's actually very simple. The one has a driver, the other one has not. Yeah. And seeing Spanner's reaction to it was kind of funny, of like, oh my god. It was actually really funny, because it's like, he's just kind of like doing up his Valvarasher, like, look at me. He's like, how you doing, bud? Look at what I have. And he's like, where the fuck did you get one? Like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, I don't know. You can really feel there is this tension between the two. Not only, like, you know, are they gonna fuck tension? Way more like, is Lakasis actually on the good guy side? Because again, she hasn't fucking changed clothes. I understand, she's a doll. But for fuck's sake, the first time that we actually saw a Minato transform into Dread, she, Atropos, and Koloff actually fucking wore like junior fucking uniforms. Okay, on top of their like regular clothes, but still, like, they can change clothes, so it doesn't make any fucking sense. And also, dolls can change clothes. Barbie is a thing. Like, I'm just Kenny's from the Barbie movie, if I'm correct. But also, El Dorado, I'm sorry, that new name is fucking dumb. He would always be El Dorado for me. I'm kind of interested in him, specifically because he straight up, like, shows up in the end of the episode. Like, you see just the silhouette of him, but it's like, it's very much, oh my god, he's here. And if you actually see some stills, like, he looks like I think they're supposed to be called 100 like foot soldiers. It's pretty much the Oma Geo fucking foot soldiers. Yeah, they use them, but he looks like them, so that's like actually really cool. So this is pretty much how they're going to probably connect the Legend special to the main course of the show. Maybe with the 100 and the boss there, Storius. He never was given a name, aka Kamen Robotics, is probably somehow connected to Garyon somehow. I'm not sure. Like, this is going to be kind of like, this very much feels like, okay, this is the most in-between episodes of two arcs. You can really feel it, because now we are kind of like shifting towards the final arc of the show. Like, I'm not sure how many episodes GOTCHARD is going to have, but we are getting close to the end. It feels so weird that it's almost been a year since GOTCHARD debuts. This episode gets a C. Like, I enjoyed it. Like, I don't really know what to say. I am actually kind of trying to put some stuff into it, but this wasn't the episode that I thought it would have been. Like, I enjoyed some of the parts, some of its parts, but not enough to really say, oh my god, it's amazing. and it's like, ah man, this was such a disappointing episode in my opinion. Like, again, I'm still saying that this should have totally be like a first Dark episode. I think like the three Dark Sisters should never be like the first Dark villains. Or at least if they would have, like keep them in the shadows and just kind of like make them kind of like a looming threat that we don't really know about, and kind of contain it to the school, and then kind of spread it out more with Garyon, and then go with like El Dorado as like the final villain. Kind of have some sort of an escalation and just weird beats. It kind of like, it's not as bad as Gitz, because Gitz as a show had an amazing start and just it slumped down to a really bad end. Pun very intended. I don't know. So yeah, what you thought about GOTCHARD episode 31? Comment below, let me know. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like the video. If you already did and you didn't subscribe to my channel, please do. So yeah, thank you very much and have a great rest of your day.